Hello, and welcome back to David's Year of New Music, the countdown, I guess is what we could call it. It's David's Year of New Music. The other day I did a video talking about how I listened to a bunch of records over the year. I'm not going to go too far into it because I only have 15 minutes. Instagram will only let me post 15-minute videos. I didn't know that the other day, and I had to edit the shit out of that video. So anyway, I listened to a lot of records over the year. If you really want to know the whole synopsis, there's a post either to my right or to my left, depending on how this configures itself later. You can watch that. It explains what happened. But yeah, I listened to a lot of records, and now, like the day before, I counted down from 20 to 11, and now this is my top 10, so 10 through 1. So yeah, all these records, right from the beginning, grabbed me. They were just like, they took me by the shoulders, they grabbed me somewhere else, and they said, let's go. And obviously you want that from a record because you don't want to sit through 3 songs and then the 4th song, you're like, damn, that's a good song. I can't make it past that. People have told me, you got to listen to it more than 3 times. I'm like, if I have to listen to a record more than 3 times, I don't like the record. I'm sorry. It's just weird. Maybe some people can do that. I can't. I don't have the attention span for that. But anyway, every one of these records, the first song grabbed me. They said by the shoulders or somewhere else, they grabbed me, and boom, we went for the ride. So let's just get into it because I have 15 minutes to explain, and I wrote some notes down so I could get a little bit more in depth than the last time. I could really talk about these records because damn it, these records are important to me, and it was really cool to discover them this year. So anyway, the first one is by Elton John, Tumbleweed Connection. Right there. Now, I thought I was a fan of Elton John. I am a fan of Elton John, but maybe I was just a fan of his greatest hits. Because this record, I've never heard any of the songs on it before, but whoo, man, it's so good. Where to Now, St. Peter. God, what a song. That's the song you put on, like, when you make mixtapes for people or whatever you do now. You make playlists on Spotify or iTunes. This is what you put on there, you know, because it's good and it's great. Talking Old Soldiers is about an old man sitting in a bar. This guy buys him a drink, and he kind of talks about how he's the last one left. If there's any piano players listening to this, which some of my friends do play piano, I want to sing this song, and I want you to play piano for me. So please let me know, because I love this song. It's beautiful. Okay, the next record is, I have to do it because it wasn't in order, is by the Gaslight Anthem with 59 Sound. Oh, turn, there you go. Oh, what are you doing? I'm terrible at this. This was suggested by a friend. Now, the friend who suggested this is a runner, and I could totally picture myself running to this record. Maybe 1 or 2 songs because they're really fast. They're really just, they grab you, and I'd be really tired, but it'd be a damn good workout. So thank you, running friend, who suggested this. This is working man's punk. It's melodic. It's, you know, from New Jersey, which is where I grew up. It didn't influence me, but apparently Bruce Springsteen would jam with these guys, like just like show up to their shows and be like, hey, you know, I'm going to play. Now, if Bruce Springsteen showed up to one of my shows, I would shit my pants and walked off stage and cried. But these guys apparently jam with them. My mom is familiar with them, and my mom's not old, but she's cool, but you know, she's my mom. So you can imagine if I'm this age, she's that much older. It's just a really good record. Gaslight Anthem. I'm kind of upset that they broke up because I want more, but I listened to the rest of them. Next one is a band called Rockpile with Seconds of Pleasure. Now, this is one of those records where I discovered them because I had listened to Nick Lowe. iTunes said, well, you should listen to Rockpile. I'm like, I don't know who that is, but I did it anyway because I had time on my hands. And now I'm super stoked because Rockpile are better than Nick Lowe, who apparently they backed up Nick Lowe for a long time. These guys sound like they're a bar band, like your favorite bar band. You show up, you know all their songs, you sing along, you dance, rockabilly. It sounds like Elvis Costello. And then it goes into Bobby Fuller 4. It's, yeah, like rockabilly. It's just all over the place, and they're great. You know that they're having fun because at the end of this record, there's some, you know, outtakes from their recording sessions. They're just laughing at each other, making fun of each other. And it's just really good. There's a song called If Sugar Was As Sweet As You. Oh, it's a stellar pop tune. If I could play guitar better than I can now, I would start a band and cover this song, I swear. Next one is by a band called Sparks with Angst in My Pants. Now, this was suggested by a friend. Thank you, friend. You also suggested the House Martins. Wow, Sparks. I've actually heard of them. Not heard of them. I didn't know the name, but I've heard their music. They had a song in the movie Valley Girl, which starred Nicolas Cage as a punk rocker. Terrible movie. Cheesy, but amazing soundtrack. I mean, When in Rome is on there. But this was on there, one of the songs. But Sparks kind of like bridges that gap between punk and new wave. Like, they were right there. Like, so it's kind of guitar driven, but there's synthesizers. It's just really, really catchy post-punk, early new wave. I've read some about them. They're super influential to a lot of people out there. This is a great, great record. Thank you, friend, again. Next, this band I actually downloaded because a friend of mine had reposted they were doing this t-shirt thing where all the money was going towards some Black Lives Matter charities. And I was like, well, that's kind of cool. And damn it, that's a cool shirt. And if you know me, you know that I am a sucker for a cool t-shirt. So I was like, well, I'm going to buy the shirt because it was limited run. I better buy the shirt now because it'll probably run out. But then I was like, well, if I'm going to wear that band shirt, I should probably listen to them. And the band is the Bronx. And this record is the Bronx 1. Now, their subsequent albums are the Bronx 2, the Bronx 3, the Bronx 4, the Bronx 5. Now, I listened to all of them, and any one of them could have been on this list, but because I listened to the Bronx 1 first, this is the one that made it to the list. It's hardcore punk with melody. Now, I love melody. I say that a lot. Hardcore was not really my shtick. I like the energy of hardcore, but if I can't understand the lyrics and I can't sing along, I'm kind of like, you lose me, other than the fact that just the energy of it. So live, I can do punk rock, hardcore. Listening to them, like, you've lost me. But this is hardcore with some melody. I can understand the lyrics. I can totally tell these guys are awesome live. I want to stand up front, sweat my ass off, hopefully don't pass out because I'm old again, like I said, and just sing along and, you know, pound my fist to, you know, this. Great, great band, the Bronx. Any one of their records, if you're into like punk rock, even if you're not, this is a good listen. Number 5. This is someone I listened to before. My friends, he's very, very cool. My friends a bunch of them are into him. I listened to some of his stuff. I'm like, yeah, it's okay. He's a poet. He's definitely a poet. But I wasn't really into the music. But this record, which was on the top 500, on the Rolling Stone 500 Greatest, it's Tom Waits, The Heart of Saturday Night. Okay, so this starts off with just a kind of a slow piano, and then he comes in. The song's called New Coat of Paint, and yeah, now he has me. It's very jazzy. I don't remember his other stuff, but this is jazz. I love jazz. This is jazz, like with some gruff vocals, and it really makes me want to just like, you know, pretend I'm cool, go to a darkly lit bar, smoke cigarettes, drink whiskey, and be cool. But I'm not cool, but I used to smoke cigarettes, and that's a terrible thing to do, so don't ever do it. But I still drink whiskey once in a while, but I want to be cool. I want to hang out with Tom Waits, and I want to listen to this record, or listen to him do this record, or listen to this record with other people, and yeah, it's that good. Number 4, it's a live album by an amazing singer, Sam Cooke. And this is Sam Cooke, One Night Stand, live at the Harlem Square Club, 1963. Now, I love live records if it makes you feel like you're part of the show. And it's only 39 minutes long, so I'm thinking and I'm hoping, because that this was just like choices of this live performance, because it would suck to only see this 39 minutes of this. Sam Cooke is a beautiful singer. I love his voice. I sing his music in my car all the time. I've done it karaoke a few times, and I apologize if I did not do it justice, but Sam Cooke has got a voice of gold. He controls this audience like from the get-go. He just grabs them and says, hey guys, I'm Sam Cooke. Every one of you out there is going to just be in love with this performance. He controls the crowd. Like, you could just hear it, like during Twisting the Night Away. It's like a 3-minute improv of him just saying the most random stuff. Apparently people in 1963 all carry handkerchiefs, so he tells them all to pull out their handkerchiefs. Wave your handkerchiefs around. They're obviously doing it because he keeps saying it. And he just, the way he interacts with his band, it's just magic. This is a great record. A great, 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 great live record. Yeah. Okay, next one. This is the only artist who repeated himself or themselves on my list. It's Elton John with Honky Chateau. So earlier I went into how I thought I was a full-fledged fan. Turns out now I am, and I dived into the Elton John pool and Honky Chateau. It starts off with Honky Cat, which in my opinion, and I talked about this before, is you pick a first song on an album, the beginning album, and like top 10 list. Honky Cat might make that list for me because, yeah, this is just a great record. Elton John, again, storyteller, storyteller, storyteller. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That was number 3. Number 2. I listened to this band, a bunch of records of theirs. For some reason, the Police, Outlandos de Amor. I probably listened to this record because I had an aunt, or I still have an aunt. She's about 7 years older than me, and she was the biggest fan of the Police. I mean, that's all she listened to, that, and she watched the movie Grease all the time. So I, in turn, liked the Police, but I was more in the age of Ghost in the Machine, Synchronicity. Those are the 2 records I played a lot. Like I said, I probably listened to this record before, but I don't remember if I did, and I don't remember if I listened to it from track 1 to the end track. And, well, I'm glad that I did now because, damn it, this is a great, 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 great record. The Police are so catchy. The Police are so talented. Oh, my God. Oh, she was super in love with Stuart Copeland, too, who, you know, I mean, Andy Summers' guitar playing, Stuart Copeland's odd, jazzy, but makes sense in rock and roll drumming, and Sting with his bass and that voice. I mean, no one can sing like Sting. So, yeah, the Police. I love the Police. Obviously, now I love them even more because of this record. And number 1, I have 2 minutes to talk about it, is Ray Charles, the genius of Ray Charles. Now, we all know Ray Charles, I hope. He is, yeah, he's Ray Charles. But let me just go, I digress. I'm going to hear some lyrics. Hey, everybody, let's have some fun. You only live once, and when you're dead, you're done. So let the good times roll. Now, that is the first time you hear Ray Charles in this record. It's from Let the Good Times Roll. But the beginning of this album starts with trumpets just blaring, and then he comes in with that Ray Charles-like attitude and that voice, and the rest of this record, 1 through 12, magic. There's some crooning, there's some jazz. It just... This is probably one of my favorite records of all time now. I mean, that's how damn good it is. It could make my top 10 list of records of all time. It's beautiful. I wrote down here, if you don't like this record, then fuck you. Maybe that's a bit harsh, but if you don't like this record, I don't know how you don't like this record. There's no way you cannot like this record. I don't care if you're into punk rock, if you're into like new wave, if you're into hip hop, if you're into Norwegian death, folk, whatever you're into, this record you will like. I guarantee you. If you listen to any record on my list, this is the one. Ray Charles, the genius of Ray Charles. Okay, so that is it. That is my list. This was fun. I don't know if I could do it again, a whole year of listening just that stuff, but like new music, but thank you so much and Happy New Year.